Michele Singer Reiner was a multifaceted American creative and civic figure whose life intersected art, film, business, and social advocacy. Born on March 3, 1957, she built a career that evolved steadily over several decades, beginning behind the camera as a photographer and later expanding into film production, corporate leadership, and national political activism. Although she was widely known as the wife and longtime collaborator of filmmaker and actor Rob Reiner, Michele Singer Reiner established her own professional identity through her creative work, entrepreneurial ventures, and commitment to social justice. She died on December 14, 2025, in Los Angeles, California, at the age of 68, leaving behind a legacy defined by creativity, partnership, and purpose. At the time of her death, Michele Singer Reiner's individual net worth was estimated to be $37 million, derived from decades of professional work in photography, film production, and business leadership, as well as her executive role at Castle Rock Entertainment. When viewed alongside the shared assets accumulated during her 36-year marriage to Rob Reiner, the couple's combined net worth was substantially higher, reflecting long-standing success in the entertainment industry and strategic production ventures. Michele Singer Reiner's professional journey began in photography, a discipline that shaped her visual sensibility and introduced her to influential circles in media and publishing. In the 1980s, she established herself as a sought-after photographer, capable of capturing images that blended polish with personality. One of her most widely recognized early accomplishments was photographing Donald Trump for the cover of his first book, The Art of the Deal, published in 1987. The assignment placed her work in front of a national audience and underscored her ability to operate at the highest levels of commercial photography. Years later, the image would take on added cultural resonance, particularly as her future husband became a prominent and outspoken critic of Trump, highlighting the unpredictable intersections of art, politics, and personal history. Her entry into the film world came organically, initially through her photography and then through personal relationships that would shape the rest of her life. Michele Singer met Rob Reiner on the set of When Harry Met Sally, in 1989, a film that would become one of the most enduring romantic comedies in American cinema. At the time, she was working behind the scenes, and their connection developed in an environment defined by creative collaboration. Her influence on the film extended beyond her professional role. She famously inspired Rob Reiner to reconsider and ultimately change the film's ending, steering it toward a more hopeful and romantic conclusion. That creative intervention would become part of Hollywood lore, emblematic of her intuitive understanding of storytelling and emotional resonance. As her relationship with Rob Reiner deepened, Michele Singer Reiner increasingly became a creative partner as well as a spouse. She contributed to several of his projects, including Misery, where she worked as a photographer. These collaborations allowed her to remain closely involved in filmmaking while continuing to refine her own professional interests. Over time, her focus shifted from still photography toward the broader scope of production, a transition that mirrored changes in the entertainment industry and reflected her growing interest in shaping projects from conception to completion. By the 2010s, Michele Singer Reiner had firmly established herself as a film producer. Her producing credits included Shock and Awe, 2017, a political drama that aligned closely with her own advocacy interests, as well as a series of documentary and non-fiction projects that demonstrated her commitment to socially relevant storytelling. Among these, Albert Brooks' Defending My Life, 2023, stood out as a critical success, earning her a nomination for a Primetime Emmy Award in the category of Outstanding Documentary or Non-Fiction Special. The nomination was widely seen as a recognition not only of the film's quality but also of her skill as a producer capable of balancing artistic integrity with audience engagement. She continued this trajectory with God and Country, 2024, and Spinal Tap 2, The End Continues, 2025, further cementing her role as a producer with a diverse portfolio that ranged from political commentary to cultural satire. Throughout these projects, she frequently collaborated with her husband, maintaining a professional partnership that paralleled their personal one. Their working relationship was characterized by mutual respect and shared values, particularly a belief in using film as a vehicle for dialogue and social reflection. Beyond individual projects, Michele Singer Reiner played a significant role in the business side of the entertainment industry. She was a co-president of Castle Rock Entertainment, the influential production company that Rob Reiner helped found. Serving alongside executive Matthew George, she was involved in guiding the company's strategic direction during a period of transition and renewed creative output. In 2020, she and her husband entered into a producing and directing deal with Warner Bros. Television under the Castle Rock banner, a move that reaffirmed the company's relevance in a rapidly changing media landscape. In addition, she founded Reiner Light, a production and photography company that reflected her dual passions and entrepreneurial instincts. Parallel to her creative and business pursuits, Michele Singer Reiner was deeply engaged in political activism. Alongside Rob Reiner, she became a prominent advocate for early childhood development, leading campaigns in California aimed at securing funding for education and family support programs. Their efforts were rooted in a belief that social investment at the earliest stages of life could produce long-term societal benefits. Her activism extended powerfully into the realm of civil rights, particularly LGBTQ+ equality. She co-founded the American Foundation for Equal Rights, which played a central role in launching the federal lawsuit that challenged bans on same-sex marriage. The organization's work contributed directly to the legal and cultural momentum that ultimately resulted in marriage equality being recognized across the United States. Michele Singer Reiner was widely regarded as a steadfast ally within the LGBTQ+ community, remaining committed to the cause until the end of her life. Leaders in the movement later emphasized that her advocacy was not symbolic or intermittent but sustained, strategic, and deeply personal. The roots of her social conscience could be traced to her family history. Her mother was a Holocaust survivor, and Michele often cited this legacy as a formative influence on her values. The lessons of resilience, justice, and moral responsibility that emerged from that history informed her approach to activism and philanthropy. She viewed advocacy not as an optional extension of success but as an obligation that accompanied privilege and visibility. Michele Singer Reiner's personal life was closely intertwined with her professional world. She and Rob Reiner married in 1989, the same year when Harry Met Sally was released, and their marriage endured for 36 years. Together, they built a family while navigating the demands of Hollywood and public life. They had 3 children, their eldest son Jake, born in 1991, their second son Nick, born in 1993, and their daughter Romy, born in 1997. Despite their prominence, Michele and Rob made deliberate efforts to provide their children with stability and a sense of normalcy, balancing careers with family responsibilities. Friends and colleagues often described Michele Singer Reiner as warm, intellectually curious, and quietly influential. She was known for her ability to bring people together, whether on a film set, in a boardroom, or within activist coalitions. While she did not seek the spotlight in the way many Hollywood figures do, her presence was widely felt through the projects she supported and the causes she championed. Her life ended in tragedy on December 14, 2025, when she and her husband were killed at their Los Angeles residence as a result of multiple stab wounds. The shocking nature of their deaths sent ripples through the entertainment industry, political circles, and advocacy communities. At the time of their passing, they had been married for more than 3 decades. In the days that followed, their son Nick was arrested and later charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder, with special circumstances related to multiple victims, a development that added another layer of sorrow to an already devastating event. Tributes poured in from across the political and cultural spectrum. Figures such as Nancy Pelosi, Bill and Hillary Clinton, and numerous leaders in film and activism publicly honored Michele Singer Reiner's life and work. Friends remembered her as an exceptionally talented photographer and a thoughtful producer, while LGBTQ+ advocates highlighted her unwavering commitment to equality. Many noted that her impact extended far beyond any single role she held, encompassing a lifetime of meaningful contribution. Michele Singer Reiner's legacy is one of evolution and engagement. She moved fluidly from photography to film production, from private creativity to public advocacy, and from supportive partnership to executive leadership. In every phase of her life, she demonstrated a belief in the power of images, stories, and collective action to shape culture and advance justice. Though her life was cut short, the body of work she left behind, and the causes she helped advance, continue to reflect a life lived with intention, empathy, and enduring influence.